Yeah, wake up around here. I know it get a little stuffy around these conferences. We gotta liven this thing up. That's what we do. We like to recover out loud and be rowdy and loud and be grateful. So yeah, hold on, let me fix. You know what? I'm just gonna take this off. Yeah, that's better. That don't work for me. How are we doing? How are we doing? It's good to see you guys. We want to thank you guys for coming out and spending some time with us today and choosing our presentation that we got going on. We are 5280 Recovery High School. 5280 Recovery High School is oh yeah, well give it up then. Yeah, act like y'all know, act like y'all know. Okay. 5280 Recovery High School is the largest recovery high school in the entire country. And our goal is to help young people get sober and stay sober off of all mind-altering substances, also while obtaining their high school diploma. The school opened up in 2018, and my name is Keith Hayes. I've been the Director of Recovery at 5280 High School since 2020. And it's been truly a blessing, and I'm just full of gratitude to be able to serve these young people and watch them recover. As you guys know, we are in the worst drug crisis that our country has ever seen, right? Oh, you guys don't believe me? Let me ask the kids this. How many of you guys have lost somebody from an opiate overdose? Please raise your hands. Yeah. When I was growing up, okay? When I was growing up, I wasn't losing my people in high school to opiate overdoses. Like, those weren't the conversations that we were having. We may have been losing people as a result of violence or crazy car accidents or crazy health scares and things like that, but not from opiate overdoses. And that is the true reality of the world that we're living in. Just a couple of years ago, Colorado was third in the nation for adolescent overdoses, right? It's real. And our kids, our young people, they are dying at alarming rates as a result of opiate addiction. It's real. I have a lot of community partners in here right now that I work with, and we're losing our kids. We're losing our kids, and this is why our recovery high school exists today. And 5280 High School, we have 4 recovery coaches. These are all peer certified recovery coaches who meet with all of our young people every single day. They do case management with them, help them find outside programs of recovery. But we want to treat the entire student holistically, not just around getting sober and staying sober, but academics, right? Helping them figure out their post-secondary plans, right? And we want to help them heal and grow from their trauma, right? Mind, body, and spirit. And the mission and the vision of our school is very clear, right? We want to help as many families, right, repair and come back together. This is not just our kids getting sober and staying sober, right? It's their parents, right? And them getting an opportunity to watch their kids recover and repair some of the harms and different things that have happened between them. And these kids that are up here today, I can't put into words their willingness and their perseverance and their honesty, right? And if they get sober and stay sober now, right, they're saving themselves from that school to prison pipeline. They're stopping, going into all the different things that I may have went through as an adult. I spent 20 years in active addiction. I'm a former gang member. I grew right up in Denver, Colorado, and I spent a lot of years terrorizing my city, causing a lot of harm to the community that I grew up in. And today we get an opportunity to pay those things forward and to give back to the community. And where high school, where my life started to spiral out of control, I get to now show up in high school every single day and help kids find a life worth living, full of passion and purpose. And that's awesome. That's awesome. So a few things you need to know about recovery high schools, right? One thing is a lot of recovery high schools are private. So which means only certain young people may have access to that particular recovery high school based on their social economic situation. Our school is a free public charter high school that is authorized by Denver Public Schools, and it allows kids from all over the metro area be able to come to our school. We have kids that live in Parker, Highlands Ranch, Littleton, Denver, Boulder, Castle Rock. We have kids coming to us from all Westminster, from all over the metro area. What that also shows you, the disease of addiction does not discriminate, right? A lot of our kids come from very well-off areas, right? But it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter how much money your family has or what you got going on. It's a certified killer. And that's what we're dealing with today. And our school has this beautiful diversity of just different kids from all over the place, right? And they're all there from the same reasons. Because I want to get sober today. I want to do something different with my life. I don't like how my life has been going. You know, school has become unmanageable, right? My relationship with my parents have become unmanageable. Maybe I've overdosed. Maybe I've been to multiple treatment facilities. These kids here have been through all those things, right? And they've been able to recreate their lives in recovery today. And it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see. But we need more 5280s in our community. We need them all over, right? So young people can be around other young people and see precisely how to recover. And the real magic of our school is peer-to-peer support, right? Another young person sitting out with another young person explaining exactly what they did to get sober, what they did to recreate their lives. And we want to create a space for them where it's truly a recovery community, where it doesn't matter where you're from or how old you are, what color you are. None of that shit matters to us. What matters is do you have a willingness to want to do something different with your life? Do you have a willingness to repair your relationship with your family? Do you have a willingness to get your high school diploma and figure out what you want to do with your future? And that's what our school is all about. And giving kids those spaces to be able to do those things, to learn those things, and to figure those things out. So I'm grateful for all you guys that came by here today and just wanted to come check out our school and what we do. I want to give you guys some statistics from last school year to leave you guys with, and then I'm going to just kind of turn it over to the kids and ask them some questions and let you guys hear from them. Last year, out of 95 students who was at 5280 High School, 83% of those students all had over 90 days sober. 74% of those students all had over 6 months sober. Over 60% of our student body had over 1 year sober, and our average sober days amongst our entire student population was 456 days sober. Yeah. And again, that's the kids. That's the kids. That's the kids. Those are crazy outcomes, right? Crazy outcomes. Crazy outcomes. And it's because of their willingness. But what happens is what we have built is truly a system and culture of recovery. And I want to kind of explain how it works. So a kid comes into our school, right? They may have a day, they may have 2 days, whatever the case, maybe a week, right? And all of our kids, they've been on everything, all the way from fentanyl to meth to heroin. I got kids that were sticking needles in their arm at 12 years old, right? They've been on cocaine. They've been, you name it, they have done it. We kind of like to call ourselves garden variety junkies, right, y'all? So, yeah, they really do whatever. And that's a real thing. But they come into a community where they get to meet other kids who already have time sober. And those kids now have found purpose in their recovery, and they want to reach out to other kids as they come through the door and connect with them and build with them. I also have phenomenal community partners that I work with. So kids will do recovery programming at our school all day long, and then once they leave our school, they'll go to one of our community partners like Full Circle, which is a 12-step enthusiastic sobriety program for young people. And they get to go spend the day at Full Circle for the day. Or maybe they stay at our after-school program that we have at our school called Altitude Youth Recovery. And by the time they go home, it's time to hit the pillow, another day sober, and we keep doing it all over again. And before you know it, the kids got 90 days, and they're like, dang, I haven't thought about getting high in a long time, right? And it's the real magic of you have to have full wraparound supports for these young people. They have to have safe places to go once they leave the school. It's not just once we're done with them at the school, that's it. No, I hand them over to my other partners, and I say, okay, it's your shift, right, Sam? It's your time. I've been with them for 8 hours. You go deal with them now. Yeah, because it's rough. So That's the cool thing. So we've built true wraparound supports for our kids where they're getting consistent support around their addiction every single day of the week. And I think that's why a big part of why our outcomes are the way that they are. And it's working, and it's working. And like I said, kids aren't just getting sober, they're staying sober. But bigger than that, they're finding purpose in their life as a result of their sobriety. So I have a couple of questions here for the kids. First, I want the kids to start. Just tell everybody your name and how long you have sober today. Everly, Morgan, you want to start?
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Morgan, and I get 3 years sober next month.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Everly. I have a little bit over a year sober now.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Taryn, and by next week I will have 10 months sober.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Aston, and I have, year and a couple of months sober?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ayana, and I think I get 9 months tomorrow.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Owen, and I get 3 months sober here in 2 weeks, I think.
I love it. And what I love is that like recovery hasn't been this linear process for every single student here, right? Relapse has been a part of their journey, right? And that's okay. And we just keep moving forward, right? Owen, if you don't mind me sharing some, Owen, Owen had over a year sober, right? And then Owen went back out and did some more research, right? But at the end of the day, though, Owen was honest about what was going on, about his struggles and what was going on with him. We helped Owen get connected to some more treatment and some more recovery supports, and Owen's got 90 days again, right? And that's the beautiful thing is like if something happens, like you're not out of the school. We just keep moving forward, and we keep taking it one day at a time. And we won't talk about Morgan, but let's just say Morgan's first year, she was in a meth-induced psychosis. And it was fun. And now she's got almost 3 years sober, and that's the cool thing. She's been at our school since our freshman year, and now she's about to celebrate 3 years. So as you guys know, we do recover. Okay, you guys ready for the questions? Okay, let's do it. Everly, you gonna start us off? All right, so I'm trying to set 2-minute timers because, look, they will talk all day, and then we'll be here till 5. So the first question is oh, it's on this side. Here we go. Talk to them about being at 5280 Recovery High School. How has that been for you?
Well, the first thing I can say is that, I don't know, I went to a public high school where there was, a lot of use. I'd walk into the bathroom, somebody's doing something. Somebody's going to pass me a cart, something.
Can you tell them what a cart is? They might not know.
Oh, well, like a weed pen. But I came to 5280 sophomore year. I had been to rehab twice in 1 year at that point. And I don't know, just immediately I felt like a sense of welcome and I felt safe. And I never felt that at a normal public high school because I was like, oh, there's going to be a fight today and I might get maced. You never know. And I don't really have that fear at 5280. And I don't know, it's helped me a lot. I have my recovery coach who I talk to all the time, and I have that support. And then I just the peer-to-peer support is insane. I don't know, all of the people up here I'm able to go to and be like, hey, I'm struggling with something, and be able to openly talk to them about. And I don't know, I just see so much support throughout the school, and I think that's amazing.
Thank you, Everly.
Yeah. Okay, hi, I'm Morgan. One thing about 5280 is that I'm from Texas. I'm not from Colorado. And my parents were so scared for me, and they ended up finding out about 5280 through another rehabilitation center. And my mom called Keith and was like, look, we're in Texas, but we'll move to Colorado so she can get support here at 5280 High School. And Keith was on board, and I did a lot of messed up things in my first year there. So even my second year there, it took me a long time to not only get sober, but then let go of the old things I used to do. But 5280 has like provided me with so much patience and love that I knew like no matter what I did, like there was always going to be a forgiving face when I came back to school the next day. And that was something that kept me there. Is like I don't think I would have came back from my relapses if I wasn't met with such patience and forgiveness and love that I was met with. And yeah, so, all right.
So I started off at a regular high school, and there was a lot of use. Yep, walk into the bathroom, someone's doing something. And I'd convinced myself that I didn't belong anywhere, and that I would never find my own community. And about 3/4 of the way through my freshman year, after going to rehab, I was recommended to 5280. I transferred, and for a little while, I still kind of isolated myself from the community, but after a while, I found my place, and I found my people, and I have made insane changes in my life, and not only just staying sober, but solving the underlying problems that caused me to abuse substances. And I never thought I would get here, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without 5280.
Alrighty, hi, I'm Aston. I think I think the coolest thing about 5280 to me, like a lot of people have been saying, is kind of the community. Because I came from a regular high school like a bunch of other people, and you walk into the bathroom, oh, you want to smoke, oh, you want to do this, this, and that, and coming to 5280, it's like I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to have that constant fear of like, oh, am I going to get offered to do drugs when I go, use the bathroom, or when I go get food, or when I go like anywhere really. As well, there's just so many supportive people at the school. Like I can go up to most anybody there and be like, hey, I'm feeling down and I want to talk about it, or I have this going on and I really need to talk about it, kind of thing. And the staff as well just understand it. I would say that's also just one of the most like, what word am I looking for? Whatever. I think it's one of the coolest parts about it is that the staff understands and that they're there to help. But yeah, thank you.
Hi, Amayana. So my whole thing was like I went to am I allowed to say the school name? Is that bad? Okay. So I went to North and Kennedy. North for my freshman and sophomore year, and then Kennedy for my junior year. And North is just not like, they were never really like helpful to me like with school, nor were the students there helpful to like even keep me sober. They like they like encouraged me to skip school and go get high with them. So like coming to 5280 and like having my meeting with Keith, and he was just like, you have to be sober when you come here. And I was just like, no. And I like ended up getting sober anyways because first of all, like my weed pen like ran out, and and just like, I don't know, like just the support that I like received, like I felt like loved and cared on like at that school, like either if it was from the students or like the teachers there, like I really like give a lot of like me just being like more trusting with my teachers. Like I wouldn't have like been more trusting to my teachers if it wasn't for like Daryl over there. Like Daryl has like showed me so much love, and like even though I would like cry about like not being on time for like turning stuff in time, like he would just sit there and let me cry and then like be like, you're stupid, but I understand. But no, you didn't say it, but like that's what you're thinking. But yeah, I just like
Hey, me knowing Daryl, he probably was thinking that. Yeah.
but yeah, just overall, like, just like being able to like have that support at school and stuff, and like knowing that I'm loved, because like I don't know, I had like a lot of struggle with that like growing up, like being at school and being loved has been like a lot for me, and like I wouldn't have became the person that I am today without 5280. So yeah.
Hello. So at my previous school before 5280, my time there wasn't really good. I prostituted myself online. I was a fighter. I did God knows what. And I always had to look over my shoulder and think of what was going to happen. Is somebody going to run up on me? Is somebody going to confront me? What's going to be like flaunted around in my face with drug use? And sophomore year, it came to a point where I did get sent to a residential program, and after that, I got sent to 5280. When I entered in the school, I was already a part of a program called Full Circle. They have helped me so much. And so I already knew a lot of people there. And I got to meet my recovery coach, Shannon. I have never been so honest with a person in my life. There's only 2 people who know me through and through, and she is one of them. And that says something about this high school. Because the community that is there, the staff members who are there, they understand us and they understand what we have to go through on a daily. And I just think that is something everybody should think about. How can a 17-year-old be honest with a grown-up? Like, it doesn't make sense, but personally, I wasn't like that 2 years ago. But yeah, that's just something that will always be important to my heart, and the opportunities that they're giving me. It's amazing. But yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. So one thing that always comes up, and people always ask me, like, what do you guys do at 5280 High School that helps get kids off of drugs and alcohol, right? And it's about the messaging, right? I grew up on DARE, right? The DARE officer comes up, right, and he tells you all these things about drugs. We got to start being real with our kids. See, we don't sugarcoat nothing at our school. We keep it real with them. Here's the real truth. Drugs and alcohol are phenomenal. They're great. We love them. Stop telling people that they're bad. Kids, they can see right through that shit. You can't tell them that it's bad and it's no good for you and you shouldn't do it. That's just going to make them go do it even more. The real truth is it's great. I don't know about y'all, but Grey Goose vodka was lovely, okay? I've had some of the best cocaine that there is out there, and it made me feel great, okay? And I'm not going to tell the kids that that's not the case. But until it's not great anymore, right? When the relationship with your family is broken, and when you lose your kids, and like myself, when you go to prison, right? Or like myself, when you get in a car accident for drinking and driving and you kill one of your friends. Because, yeah, that happened to me. I killed somebody as a result of my addiction. And it's on me. It's on me. But the truth is all these things are great. There's people here who are going to leave here today and go have them a couple lattes tonight at house, and it's going to be great, right? Because maybe you can do those things responsibly. But how do we make recovery attractive? How do we make it something that people actually want to get? See, these kids are sober today because they like the effects produced by recovery more than they like drugs and alcohol. And that's what it's got to be about. It's got to be fun. It's got to be exciting. We know we like drugs. There's a bunch of drug addicts in here. I know some personally right now. Okay, and we had some times. Okay, Rick, I'm sorry. It's G14 classified. But today we like the effects produced by recovery. And that's what we tell our kids. Come in here, work a program of recovery. And I always tell them, if you've worked a program of recovery and you still want to go back and use, we'll gladly refund you your misery, right? I promise you we will. But kids don't want to go back to that. They actually enjoy the effects and the feelings of being sober, which will lead me to my next question. At 5280 Recovery High School, we believe that the disease of addiction is the only disease that can be put into remission with peer-to-peer support. How is helping others in your recovery journey giving you guys purpose today?
I think the biggest thing that's helped me in this way, or like how I've helped people, is literally just being their friend. Especially with, like, I don't know, newcomer girls, they come in and they're brand new, they don't know what's going on. Just being their friend and like, hey, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm here for you. And just like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be this huge thing where it's like, oh, well, you need to do this and this and this. Just be their friend. And I don't know, I think like the way I've gotten help is like insane, and I want to give that back the way it was so freely given to me. Because like, I don't know, I've never had to pay for my friends coming and comforting me in sobriety. Like, I've never had that, you know? And like, while using, I never really had those friends that I could be like, oh, I'm really upset about something, I need help, and they were like, just like, go get fucked up. Like, I don't have to be afraid to like go to my friends and like actually get perspective and help and support in every way I need. And like, I don't know, I love being able to help people. Like, it's so fun and amazing, and just making so many connections with people. Like, I'll meet people and I'm just like, I probably would have never talked to you in any other circumstance, but like right now, you're like my favorite person in the whole entire world. Like, there's some people that I'm super close with that I'm like, I probably would have never talked to you any other time. But yeah, that's just like how big peer support is in our school and how much it helps.
Hi, Morgan. A big thing I think about when it comes to service is like the reasons why I got high to begin with. And one of the big ones was I wanted to fit in. I wanted to feel better, like not sad and stuff. And I was bored, you know? Like, those are three big reasons why I started getting high in the first place. And then, like, they're also kind of the reasons why I got sober too, though, because then I came into recovery and I came into this school and I had a community that made me feel like I belonged somewhere. I started feeling loved. I started feeling happy, you know, and I didn't need drugs or alcohol to make those my life. And that's kind of what I want to give to people is I want to make them feel loved and like they belong somewhere and that someone believes them and someone believes in them because, you know, I sponsor I sponsor 6 girls and I take them through the 12 steps. And, you know, the girl I was when I first came into recovery was messed up. Like, I would jump into a street of oncoming traffic. I would shove the drugs I had in your face and tell you to fuck off. You know, like, I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about myself, and I didn't care about the people that were trying to help me. But they cared. They cared so much that, you know, anytime I was throwing a temper tantrum, crying, screaming, cursing, hitting, they just sat there. They sat there and they waited till I was done. And they were like, okay, now what? And then we'd go party. We'd go out till midnight and just sing and dance. And that's the kind of woman I want to be in recovery, is I want to let this chick who's losing her mind just get it all out and then make some memories with her. Show her that, like, no, I'm not judging. You get it all out. Because it's from years of repressing your emotions. So being a safe place, absolutely.
I never had real friends. I had people I thought were my real friends that I would do drugs with, but when I came to 5280, I looked around and I was like, wow, people like Morgan and her friend group, these people have time sober, they're happy, they have friends, they don't rely on drugs to have fun or fill up their time. And over time I was like, I really want to be sober and live that life. And for other people, it means so much to be that sober friend for someone else, because having sober friends was something that I never thought I would be able to find in today. When middle school, high school, I was like, oh, so everyone's messed up. Everyone does drugs. This is normal. But it wasn't really until I got sober I realized that having other people to support you, like, it's just, I thought I was terminally different. And that I wouldn't be able to have real friends until I did. And it changed how I felt about myself. It changed how I carried myself. Just being part of a community and in actual healthy, supportive friendships that care about you and your well-being is so refreshing compared to the people I used to surround myself with. And it's just amazing that new people can come in and I can be that sober friend and support them. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing that I kind of think about when it comes to like purpose and what like taking actions has given me purpose really means is, I don't know, when I was getting high, like I didn't really have a purpose. Like, oh, well, I'm gonna, it doesn't matter if I get high and I go and hurt people and I hurt my family because, what's it matter? And I think the thing that giving back really helps me with, and the thing that like reaching out to somebody or like hanging out with somebody and just trying to be their friend or like assisting them really assists with, is like it gives me that idea that, oh, well, I have this to live for, or I have this that I have going on in my life, and I have these different things that I can care about, and so I don't really need to go and do all of this dumb stuff and like hurt people and do all of that, because it does matter if I do that, instead of, well, it doesn't matter, I can just go, I can go snort some lines and then go hurt or go tell off my mom, because yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Thank you.
Um, so like when I was getting high, I had like just this big group of friends that would just talk crap about each other and like just use each other for like the drugs, or like go off in their own little section because they didn't want to get high with certain people, even though we were all friends. And when I came to 5280, like that was never an issue. Like I didn't feel like I was being used. I didn't feel like I had somebody talking behind my back. Like I was able to like feel confident in the relationships that I had, even though like sometimes they had struggles, but like that's like a normal friendship. You're gonna have struggles here and there. But sorry. I think like recently I just started like trying to branch out and like give back the love that's been so like that, what's the term? Freely given to me. Thank you. And like I don't know, like I'm like kind of scared cuz like when like these certain people that I want to help, I like will see myself in them, and it scares me, but at the same time I can show them like how I was able to get out of that and stuff. And just like be there. Like there's this one girl that like lives down the street from me, and I was just like, if you ever need a ride to school, like I can pick you up, or if you ever feel like relapsing, just call me and I will come get you. And like she's called me a couple times and like let me know, and like it just makes me happy to see her like using that, like using me to help herself, because like I don't know, I want to be that person that like she can feel love from, like cuz I know that was a little struggle from her too. So, yeah. Okay, thank you.
So I used to have like a lot of friends at my old school, and I was like, oh, like these people are going to stay in my life. Transfer schools, only two of them stayed around. Out of all of the people, only two stayed. And it like actually like had me like my ego shattered. I was like, wait, like what's happening? Like I had all of these people, where are they now? It's because there was no genuine, meaningful connection. and that's something I had to learn. And it was just like kind of mind-boggling, and then I got to like meet all of these new people at my new school, and it was all amazing. Like I got to meet like Morgan showed me a lot. She helped me feel comfortable in my own skin without me even having to talk to her. Like it's the community base, and it would really help me. And I'm in outpatient now. I get to help all of those people in outpatient to love themselves and to get good community. Like I have somebody in outpatient right now. They now go to 5280 and they're doing a pretty good job. And I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, can you hear me still? Okay. All right. One other big piece of our school is transportation, right? As you guys heard, we have kids that come to our school from all over the metro area. And thank you to the COAC infrastructure grant, we were able to purchase 3 28-passenger school buses that now allows us to pick up 60 kids every day and take 60 kids home every day. So the kids actually got to ride up here on the school bus, and it says 5280 Recovery High School on the side of them. And the kids were like, well, why we get the small short buses? We don't need to be on the short buses. But, yeah. But we're grateful because it allows us. We don't want transportation to be a barrier for any of our young people who want to attend our school. That's important to us, that we can access so many kids to get them to our school and get them home safely. So that's all we have for now, because I want to leave you guys some time for questions. Please know, we are very transparent and open people up here, so we don't care what you ask us. You can ask us whatever you want to ask, because part of our recovery and part of what we do today is to speak our truth. So we'll open it up for questions.
Are you at max capacity, and how do you decide, or how do you make the decisions on who gets to come to the school out of all the people that probably want to come to the school?
Sure, that's a great question. So we probably could look to enroll another 30 to 35 kids this school year. We enroll all year because I have kids who are getting out of treatment all year round. I have kids who are going through crisis all year round. And we need to be prepared and ready to serve any young person who has just that little bit of willingness to want to get sober. And you got to get them while they're willing and while they're ready. Enrollment process is pretty simple. No matter what school district they live in, they fill out an enrollment packet. The family comes in for a tour. We discuss just kind of like the requirements and different things like that. And there's 2 requirements to attend our school: a desire and willingness to want to be sober, and every student has to work an outside program of recovery as well. If you wanted to do those 2 things, we would love to have you. So you fill out the enrollment paperwork. We get your birth certificate, your shot records, and your transcript, and you can usually start school in about a week after that. So we want to make it as easy as possible for kids to enroll and to be able to get them on campus as soon as possible so they can come be in our community.
Lots of questions. I got a comment and a question. First, just want to commemorate the students for your courage and your bravery for being here and for being part of recovery.
Yeah, shout out them, shout out them.
I love to see it. I'm a peer mentor myself, and it just warms my heart. And then my question is, what needs to happen so that we can open like 4 or 5 more 5280 schools in Colorado?
That's a great question. That's a great question. There's a couple of things that we need. One, what a lot of other states have done is they've gotten legislation passed where the state funds the recovery high schools, right? And they set them up in different areas of need throughout the entire state. So what we need is some legislation to put recovery high schools as a priority, and that would make it a whole lot easier to set those schools up. But also, we just need school districts that would like to have a 5280 recovery high school in their community. They can reach out to me. They can reach out to our executive director or to Jordan, who's our director of marketing, and we can start having those discussions about getting a charter in that school district so we can start to replicate this in other cities. But what it always comes down to is you got to have money, all right? You got to have money. private donors, corporate donors, like all those things are very important to our mission. So if y'all know some private donors, some corporate donors, please send them our way. But it costs money. Like our school is very expensive to run. You have 4 recovery coaches, a licensed addictions counselor. You have a full-time school psych, a full-time school social worker, like lots of behavioral health needs that our kids need, right? Also, our special education team is very large because our kids have 504s and IEPs and they're high needs kids, okay? You should have seen Morgan a couple of years ago, okay? Yeah, they're high needs. But that's what we need. Of course, we need resources, but we need community, right? And if community comes out and says, hey, we want a 5280 Recovery High School in Fort Collins or in Colorado Springs or wherever they deem necessary, then we can make that happen. We want to replicate. We believe we have a model that we can replicate in any community. We feel like we have the secret sauce. This is the secret sauce right here. We just need to give them a space for them to be able to be in that is safe and loving environment where they can do their recovery and have a safe place to get their high school education.
We got a question over there.
He stole my question.
It's okay.
But I just want to say, as a person living in recovery since I was 15 years old, and being here standing in front of you at 59, yes, and knowing that I just found my, without getting emotional, 5 years ago I found recovery for my drug of choice. I was an over-the-road truck driver for 17 years, so I developed a real killer addiction to methamphetamines. But to see this and to know that the trauma that led me to meth in the first place, and to know that these young folks are where I was at one time, and to know that you found your truth and your discovery of recovery for the rest of your life, I just want to commend you all, because when I was 15, I needed something like this. And that's why I want to say that everything and anything we can do to bring these to rural communities is where we need to go. I grew up and was born in Montrose and grew up in Delta, and I did all my muck over there, so I know the community there is left out, and he said the word. Why? Because legislation over there is not allowing us to do anything harm reduction, everything under the, we're barely getting out a little bit in Montrose. But the way it is, if we don't start looking at our youth, then it's gonna really be hard to heal our adults.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I have a question for the students. I know that you all mentioned like past negative experiences at your schools, and I feel like oftentimes when we talk to students in alternative schools, they like them so much better than their other schools, and it seems like maybe all students should go to alternative schools because they're operating really well. But I'm curious if there are things, because that wouldn't be realistic, if there are things that like public schools or other schools could do to be somewhat similar to your school, and like things that they could implement. Obviously they would need a lot of change, but I'm just curious if there's things that you would suggest public schools do as students.
Let's take that call.
Thanks so much. So like I was kind of saying, like at like North and Kennedy, I didn't have I had an IEP set up and everything. Like we would have IEP meetings and everything, and none of those schools ever followed my IEP. It would be like emotional IEP where they would have to give me distance if I was having like a panic attack or something. There was one time when I had 8 deans following me around the school because I was having a mental breakdown. And it made my sister so mad that she got in trouble for cursing at a teacher because she didn't want to leave me alone. And I feel like if these schools are gonna have as many kids as they are, and have as many kids as they do, they still need to follow those IEPs. It doesn't matter how many kids you have, you need to assign more teachers to do that and help your kids out, because that was just a huge problem for me where I just didn't feel safe at these schools. But yeah.
So we only have time for about one more question. So I'm going to do one more question, and then I'm sure Keith and the students would make themselves available for a little bit afterwards. So I apologize that we can't get to all the questions, but we have one more.
Hi, Keith.
You look familiar.
I do. So my son graduated from 5280 High School in 2023. His name is Keegan. He was also part of Full Circle. I remember the day I got a phone call early in the morning from Keith. He said, "Hey, Mom, Keegan's got something to tell you." And he had been sober. He was at high school, very popular for their school shooting, the STEM Highlands Ranch High School. He tried to push through there and make it work. He couldn't do it anymore. Started self-medicating, and then went through the Full Circle program, where he met a lot of kids who are already at 5280 High School. As a parent, being a STEM kid, taking college classes in 8th grade, I was like, oh, what's the curriculum going to be? Like, are they going to be able to meet his needs? Are they going to be able to support him with where he's at? With all the addiction things and the mental health things and education and the projects they do and the curriculum they provide is amazing. And I'm so thankful for Keith and all of the student faculty there who were there then, who are there now, because it is a loving community. They also call them on their things. Like, Keith didn't have Keegan call me. He called and said, "Hey, you're making this phone call to your mom. You're going to get honest, you're going to be accountable, and you're going to figure out from here what you need to do." And if I hadn't got that phone call from Keith that morning, and if Keegan didn't trust him to the capacity that he did, I don't know that he'd be here today. So.
And I just want to leave you guys this with real quick is that, that's what this is about, right? This is about love. And, I tell the kids all the time that I love you enough to tell you difficult things and hard things, right? About yourself and holding that accountability. And we always talk about at 5280, high accountability, but high support, right? And you got to be able to support these kids and understand they're going to make poor choices. They're going to do those things. But what do we do when those things happen, right? And how do we show that love, and how do we be there for them? And what does that look like without judgment? Because everybody's used to everybody judging everybody, and we don't judge our kids when they make mistakes. We love on them, we support them, and we're there for them. And also, I want to close with this. Like, one big thing we wanted to do as a school to bridge the gap around project-based learning, which is our learning pedagogy, is by being able to pay for kids to go to college. So this year we invested $60,000 in concurrent enrollment for our kids to be able to take concurrent enrollment classes at Arapahoe Community College of Denver. So kids now get the opportunity to figure out if college is for them and to take those classes, and we pay for them as a school. And we want to be able to give them every opportunity they can to find their path. So thank you guys for having us today. We appreciate you guys. We will be out in the foyer if anybody wants to catch up with us. We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you all.